Hey folks, it's Rithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 17 here in Stappenbach. Now, that poor boat is frozen down into the pond. It's obviously sprung a leak before it started and has gotten now completely encased in ice. We're not going to be able to repair that one until the spring. So, I said that we would leave the logs on the lake and then we would find out if they are stuck in the ice or if they stay above the ice. They do stay above the ice. So, we're going to leave them there. We're going to leave those logs there on the island. We've also got our trailer parked on the ice over here as well, which I absolutely love. I think this is just fantastic that we've got this one parked up over here. And we're going to leave this just like it is until spring. Because what we want to do is we want to see what happens to that trailer once the spring gets here. So we're just going to walk away from that a minute. And over here at the sawmill, we've still got the whole tree on there. That hasn't dropped down through yet. We don't have any more boards or pallets or anything else to move. And we've got no wood chips to move away either. So there's nothing else that we need to worry about over on this one. And across the way here, over the fence, if I can I get over the fence from here? If we climb up onto there. Yes, I can climb up onto there and then leap elegantly like a gazelle across there. We can go over here and we can have a look at this. So we've got 2,249 in here with the Bretta Palatin, which is the timber, the wood that we're getting from over there. And this is producing empty pallets over here. We've now got four... Well, it says 4 pieces. We've got 1,749 litres of empty pallets. I'm not really sure how this works. But anyway, we've got empty pallets here. I don't know what we're supposed to do with the empty pallets. I've got absolutely no clue what we're supposed to do with the empty pallets. Whether they go over here somewhere. Because it's got pallet sale over there, but I don't think it's anything to do with that. We've got the milk sale there. What is rifosane? Right, well, there's nothing here. This seems to be like a grain sell point or something like that. I would guess. Yeah, something like that. So I'm not really sure what we're supposed to do with the empty pallets. So we'll have to come back to those empty pallets another time, and then we will deal with them then. And over here, in the forestry area, we've got... Well, we've moved all of the timber that we were going to cut down. I'm not going to do any more on here, because as many of you know, I will be starting in a few weeks' time, at the beginning of October, a brand new Farming Simulator series. Oh, we do have one log there, though. We can do something with that one. A brand new series on Farming Simulator. I'm going to run this one by hand all the way down here. Brand new Farming Simulator series, which is going to be on the Pacific Inlet logging map. Now, I did originally want to do this on the Emerald Valley logging map, but I think the Pacific Inlet one works better for what I've got in mind. Because what I want to do is I'm going to basically show everything. I mean, I did tell you all last week, so most of you already know this. I'm going to start playing on that one, brand new series, and I'm going to just work my way through. I'm going to start off with nothing. I'm going to max the loan out completely, get rid of the money. I'm going to have nothing. The only thing I will have is a chainsaw. I will buy one chainsaw and then sell everything else, get rid of it. I'll edit out all the money, so I've got absolutely no possible way of getting more money other than working my way up from scratch. Somebody did suggest that I should start off with the pony and trap. I think that's a good idea, but it's not something I want to do in that series. I want to start with literally nothing but a chainsaw. If I could start with an axe instead, that would take longer to start cutting down the trees, I'd do that, and then, like, earn a chainsaw. I mean, we'd earn a chainsaw pretty quick, I would guess. So... I mean, if there is some sort of hand axe mob that takes longer to cut trees down, I might just get that installed and start off with that bit. But I don't think there is. I don't think there is such a mod at the moment. So I will start on there. Absolutely nothing. And I'm starting that at the beginning of October. So I'm not going to worry too much about doing more forestry on this map, because that is going to be all forestry. And it's going to be a series kind of... It's going to be more like live stream than what I normally do. And I normally do most of my videos kind of like live stream anyway. I don't cut out very much. Some people don't like it. Some people would prefer it if I cut more stuff out. But This is how I prefer to watch gaming and so on. I prefer to see more details. I prefer to see more of what's going on. So I produce the videos the same way that I want to see them. And we want to go over to here. I want to just check on the cattle down here. And how are we doing down here? We did go and buy some more cattle, if you remember. So we've still only got 5 calves, but we haven't really jumped forward in time at all at the moment. So we're going to want to go back through some of these. We've got compost over here. This is all piled up. We'll worry about that later. It's this one here that I'm after. I'll drive this one back to the yard. And then we're going to feed the cows back at the yard. We'll feed the dairy cows. And then once we've done that, then we will get going with, well, we'll fast forward time a little bit. And we'll see what the weather is going to do. Because the weather is looking changeable. The wood chips that are there, we're just going to ignore them. We're not going to worry about them. And they'll get cultivated back in the spring when the field has a bit more work done on it. Yeah, the Pacific Inlet logging map, for those of you who are unaware, like I said, I'm starting a new series on it. It's not replacing this one. I'm starting a second series of Farming Simulator. I'm going to be going back to doing it 7 days a week in the run-up to the release of FS19. The hype is real, ladies and gentlemen. The hype is real, and I am getting on board this hype train. Absolutely 100% getting on this hype train, because my goodness me, doesn't it look fantastic. There's some of the stuff that I've already seen coming out from FS19 just looks amazing, and quite frankly the jump between FS15 and this one was glorious. I loved being involved with the launch of that game, and I'm getting thoroughly involved in the launch of this game as well. We are going to be covering it from every angle I can possibly think of. And I will be doing some more. I did one video so far of sort of a reaction video to the release, the trailer. I'd played the trailer and then we talked about it a bit and so on. And quite a lot of you liked that, and I will do some more stuff like that. I'm not going to be doing them very regularly because it's quite difficult for me to find the extra time needed to do it. But I am going to do my utmost to put in some more of those videos as well, because you all seem to enjoy it. And quite honestly, I was surprised. I didn't think it was all that interesting. But yeah, you did like it. You did like my views and opinions on it. And it literally never ceases to amaze me that you want to hear me talk about stuff that you already know about. I'm quite happy to do this. I can talk about most things, as many of you have noticed. And let me just put that one in there and let go of that one. Right, we want to get a... Actually, we want to get the bale grab. You can find the bale grab now. Where did I leave that one? I don't actually remember where I dumped it. It could literally be anywhere. Oh, there it is. It's in around that corner there. Right beside the slurry. There we go. Okay. We'll get this one on, and you know, I was thinking we'd go in the back end of the shed up there, but I don't think we want to, actually. I think we want to go in this side. We've got straw right there, and we've got some hay over that side. We're going to be wanting 4 bales of each, and not very much else. Well, I don't think not very much else. Let me have a look. We need some actual straw to go in the shed as well. We'll have to do that. Alright, well, we'll do that first. We'll grab some bales from this side, and we'll take them into the shed, dump them in there. The other thing, apart from the new series, that's in October, okay? That's not started. It's starting the first week of October. We'll be starting that one. And I'll be replacing one of my other series with that one. And so you'll still have this series, whichever map we're on at the time. And then there'll be that one as well. So there'll be multiple Farming Simulator series running all at the same time, which should keep everybody happy. Everybody's going to be absolutely delighted with this, and it's going to be like Christmas, all come at once, and everybody's going to be thrilled, and there's never going to be any issues or complaints about anything ever again. Yeah, okay. Just bring that in around there. We'll try. It's quite difficult to try and get these lined up just right in the right place so that you can pick them up. It's never very easy when you're trying to like manipulate the bales in round awkward corners and stuff. That's where it gets difficult. We'll drop that one there, and then I'll go and get 2 more, and I don't know how well they're going to be lined up beside those there. Hopefully they'll be alright. They'll sort of figure out. And then we get 3 bales that we can take over, and we can dump in for those cows. So we're probably going to want 6 bales. In order to do this properly, in order to fill those cows right up with straw, by looking at like the amount that was on the meter there, I reckon that we're going to want 6 bales of straw to go over into them. And I mean, I can always put a few more in a little bit later. There we go, there's 3. If I just nudge that one along a little bit, there we go, just tidy it up a little bit like that, and we can come back over this way, and there we have it. The other difference with the Pacific Inlet logging map is that I don't actually intend to use a steering wheel, and, well, I may not use a steering wheel at all in the series. I may just do it with keyboard, because I know that there's some of you, I mean, a lot of you do like me to use the steering wheel, because it does make such a difference. It really is. Like, I'm using a steering wheel now. I can do, like, just gentle, partial turns with this, and it really does make the handling a lot different. But, I mean, with ordinary tractors, it is easier using a steering wheel, but it's nowhere near as noticeable as it is with something with articulated steering like this. Articulated steering, it's next to impossible when you're using a steering wheel. It really is. It's absolutely horrible when you're trying to use a steering wheel, and when you're trying to use a keyboard to do articulated steering. It's absolutely terrible. But, I mean, for the most part, that is kind of what the plan is for the particular series. 25,000 on straw. I reckon that we could put another 6 bales in. We've got roughly 6 bales in at the moment. Over 6 bales, actually. I reckon we could easily put 6, maybe 9 more bales in there before that's completely full. So we'll grab a few more here and see if I can... How can I do this? I'll try and do this as quickly as possible. Okay. I didn't actually mean to pick that one up like that. That wasn't quite part of the master plan. Let me put that down again. Let go of you. And, oh, I know what I can do. If I can pick up that middle one, I might better drop that in the middle of the 3. There, we grab that one like that. And then, ooh, I may be able to, look, you watching this? You're watching. I put that one down there like that. And then I press that button, I pick it up, and I don't even need to let go of the middle one. And yes, they are a bit splayed. And I'm seriously questioning whether or not I can get them into the other shed, but I'm hopeful. I was going to say confident, but confident is probably not the word here at the moment. Hopeful would be a better word to use, I think. I'm hopeful. Yeah, hopeful is about as much as we're going to get, I think. And no, okay, that's not happening at all. Let's just drop that down there a minute, and we can. Hang on, there we go. We undo that. We're gonna have to just nudge these up a tiny little bit. And then we'll be doing just fine. Right. So yeah, there will be some more stuff about FS19. There will be a new series coming for FS17, and then I will run an episode, well, I say every single day. You'll have a Let's Play 6 days of the week, and you'll have a time-lapse on the 7th day of the week, until FS19 comes out. And then when FS19 comes out, we will move to that one, and we will do an episode every single day of either time-lapse or Let's Play on FS19, and that will stay for a couple of months. And then after a couple of months, I will go back to the schedule that I've roughly got right now, which is not Farming Simulator every day, and there is a very specific reason for this. The amount of time that I've got to play the game in order to produce the videos, right? And I know that you're only getting 4 episodes a week, but one of those is the time-lapse one, and I do between 5 and 6 hours of recording. Only roughly 5 hours these days. I do slightly less than I used to, because it does produce a better quality time-lapse video. I work and I tweak on it. I tweak it frequently. I'm constantly sort of tweaking and altering how I do the time-lapse, and doing my absolute best to get the best quality video that I possibly can. And through listening to lots and lots of feedback and lots of experimentation, it seems that a roughly 5 hours of gameplay turned into time-lapse footage produces the best quality video for you to watch. So that is what I do now. I do about 5 hours. I used to do 6, but I have just tweaked it down just ever so slightly. It's not a massive amount. It's not a huge difference. But, yeah, I don't do 6 hours of recording anymore. I do about 5 to 5.5. It does depend on the particular week and the tasks that I'm doing that particular week. But it's still a lot of recording, right? It does take quite a long time. You know, 5 hours is 5 hours, and you've still got to find the time. You've got to get it all set up and you've got to make sure that it's all right. I do sometimes have to do retakes. Not this week gone, but the previous week, I had a 2-hour section that I ended up having to re-record. So instead of doing 5 hours, I ended up having to do 7 hours of recording for it, and plus the usual extra work as well, and it takes a long time. If I wasn't doing that one, I would just be doing 6 or 7 episodes of ordinary Let's Play every single week. So it's literally because of the time-lapse that I don't do all of the extra Let's Plays that so many of you do request on a fairly regular basis. And I can understand that you want to have more of your favourite content, but that's the reason I don't do it, because if I keep doing the same thing over and over, I burn out on it, and I don't want to do that. I was starting to burn out on it previously, and the content was getting really bad. It was appalling. The feedback I was getting back on the content for a while was absolutely atrocious, and I don't want to go back to doing that again. I don't want to be producing really rubbish content. I want to provide the content that you lot are subscribed to me for and that you want to watch. So that is the aim. Anyway, I've rabbited on about that for long enough. You're probably wondering, where is the vote? You're probably thinking that I've forgotten all about the vote. You're probably thinking I've forgotten what day of the week it is, because this is a Thursday for me, and I've made no mention of the vote, when this is actually a vote week. We should be voting on where we go with our future. And we've been here for several weeks now. Some people are saying that we've been here too long. Other people are saying they love it here. It's absolutely amazing. Personally, well, I don't like to try to influence the vote right at the start, but I love it here. I absolutely adore this map. It's fantastic. It really is. So, yeah, I'm not sorry that you're still here. That we're still here, I should say. I'm not sorry in the slightest that we're still here. I'm actually quite delighted that we're still here. So, we've got 5 new maps. We do need a backstory, though. Now, the original backstory was that we're going to all these different farms once a month because we are a representative of AGCO and we're helping the farmers out. We go along, we take a load of money, we give a load of advice, and then we turn the farm fortunes around for them, and their farms then start making piles of money. But we've been here for absolutely ages, and you know, it kind of goes against what we said. So I had some people say last week that, you know, this farm was doing really bad, so we stayed here a little bit longer. And this does fit. Yes, we can stay here a little bit longer because, you know, the farm was doing so terribly. We've invested quite a lot of money, so in order to help the farmer out, we've decided to stay on longer just to make sure that he's really happy. Somebody else suggested that perhaps the huge loan that we have encouraged this farmer to take out, and for those of you who are unaware, if we take a look, go, oop, too far, there, we got a loan of 1.375 million euros, okay? It's fairly high. Now, he's keeping up the interest payments without any problem whatsoever, so quite frankly, I don't think he's got anything to worry about, but it is a very high loan, and this particular chap that we're here working with is not used to the stress of high loans, okay? This is an unusual thing for him. He's not experienced this before, and so he's gotten very, very stressed about it. He got so stressed, in fact, that he ended up having a very mild heart attack. Now, I don't want to alarm anybody, okay? There's nothing wrong with him. He's absolutely fine. It was a very mild heart attack. It was just an indication that he's just gotten too stressed, that it's just become a little bit too much for him. So, by way of sort of trying to make this up to him, AGCO, now they didn't need to, they didn't have to, it was a very mild heart attack, and the man knew what he was doing beforehand. He's the one that's taken the loans out. We work in an advisory capacity, but you know, we do feel some responsibility for this because it was on our advice that he's taken these loans out. So yes, he's very stressed, so we've agreed to stay on longer and assist him with running the farm, just to show him that it can indeed work and that it's not something that he needs to be quite so stressed and worried about and hopefully he will make well, he's already pretty much made a full recovery. Okay, it was a very minor heart attack. He was in hospital for 1 night only, and then he's out and he's doing a lot better now. So he's working on the farm again, and you know, he obviously he does most of the work. We're just here, isn't it? We're just here in an advisory capacity. All right, you got to remember that it's advisory capacity. Beautiful word, covers all manner of sins. Where did I leave the bucket? I don't actually remember where I left the bucket. Left the bucket in here by the compost master. So we could be here for a while. We may be leaving soon. It depends entirely on the man's health and, you know, sort of other factors as well. But if we do move on soon, obviously it could... There's a number of different places that have been put forward by our bosses at AGCO. And so... We need to decide where we would be going next if we're going to be moving on from here. And so the places, obviously, we may stay here. So the vote is, do we stay here on Stappenbach? I'm just getting a piece of paper here that I've got them written down. All right, do we stay here on Stappenbach? Do we move on to a relatively new Italian map called the Tuscan Lands? And this one has got quite a high rating already. It's well above... I think it's like 4.2 on the rating. It looks absolutely beautiful. And once again, I'm picking these maps before I go into them. I'm basing them on people's recommendations. And then I go and look at the sort of the write-up on them on the Mod Hub. And these are all Mod Hub ones. Again, I haven't picked any that are outside of Mod Hub to make it nice and easy for everybody to get hold of them and to look at them and so on and so forth. Because I know that some of you don't actually have the know-how about downloading and installing external mods and so on and so forth. Now, some of you do sort of think that is, well, how can somebody not know how to install a mod? It's really simple. It might be really simple for some of us. It's not simple for everybody. So this is one of the reasons that I do try to limit the external mods that I use. I only go to external mods that I absolutely have to, and there is enough maps at the moment on Mod Hub that I don't think we need to go to external ones. So anyway, that bit aside, Tuscan Lands, it looks absolutely beautiful. It's set in Italy and the Tuscan Lands, obviously. Then we've got, I can't remember who did the Tuscan Lands. I can't remember the map maker. Then we've got Old Slovenian Farm, and that is Black Sheep Modding. We all know that those guys are absolutely fantastic, and I think Old Slovenian Farm is a partnership of Black Sheep Modding and somebody else. I'm not entirely sure on that one, though. But yeah, Old Slovenian Farm is a small farm. Because I know that there is a lot of you that watch that really love small farms as opposed to big farms all the time. So I like to try to include at least one small farm in the votes. And this one does look genuinely beautiful. It looks absolutely gorgeous. You look at the screenshots through it, it does look wonderful. It really does. It's absolutely fantastic. Then we've got one that has been requested on this channel since FS17, well, back near when FS17 first came out, because I took a look at this map way back, close to the beginning of FS17. It came out just a few months after FS17 did, and that is Dutch Polder. It is set in Holland, as you'd expect, being Dutch, and it's flat, right? It is very, very realistic. It is completely dead flat. I'm just going to turn that one off a minute because then I can actually maneuver it around a bit easier. It's flat, and when I say flat, I mean it's absolutely completely flat. But it's not just a flat piece of map that's then got stuff stuck on top of it. It's got irrigation ditches put throughout it. Very, very realistic. It really is. You go and have a look at the Tractor Spotter channel. I do talk about him occasionally, and he's on my recommended channels list. Real life agriculture. Most of the stuff that he does is in Holland, and you have a look at the fields that all of those machines are running up and down in. They're flat, and when I say flat, I don't just mean like fairly level. I mean absolutely dead, 100% flat. No corners, no twists, no turns, no nothing. Everything is absolutely dead level, and it's quite amazing to look at. It really is. It's quite amazing that there are there's land like that. And I know a lot of farmers that are very envious of the people. See, this is what I don't like about this thing, is it's got so much tail swing on it. Most of the issues we have with this one are the tail swing on the actual trailer itself, not the tractor. Because this one does tend to sort of move a little bit further than the wheels should allow it to at the same time. Which does make it even more difficult. I'm hoping that there's going to be a bigger one of these. I know that there are some other ones available on ModHub. There's like a selection of slightly bigger ones to the base game ones. But I like this one because it does make it a little bit quicker. But anyway, Dutch Polder. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous map, and I've never done a series on it, and I've been promising for a while I'd include it in another vote, so we're including that one. And then there is Kleinhau. I think it's pronounced Kleinhau. This is one that's been there for a little while. It's got a very good vote on it. If you look on the website, you can see the star rating that the mods pick up. This one is thought of very highly, and it's come strongly recommended by a number of viewers who've been recommending different maps to me. It's apparently very highly thought of, the Kleinhau map. And I've gone and had a look at, obviously, you know, so I look at the screen, and it does look absolutely wonderful. It really does. It's another one that's based on a real-life area, like this one, because this is based on a real-life area. You can go and look at Stappenbach on a real map, and you can see all of these different places, and it's done in a very realistic fashion, and so is the Kleinhau map as well. That one is done in a very realistic fashion, as is the Dutch. Well, I don't think the Dutch Polder is based on any particular real area. I think it's just like general agricultural land in Holland, although I'm not sure of that. Don't quote me on that. I could be completely wrong. I've gone the wrong way. I wanted to check on the cows. Okay, so grass we can't feed in the winter. We're about halfway on these. So really we want to put in another load of power. Good gravy. These cows are so greedy. Seriously, we are going to have to put in another load in order for them to sort of stay happy. But, I mean, we can start doing that tomorrow. So what I can do is I can start speeding up time a little bit. So we'll go all the way up to 120, and we'll start thundering through the time a little bit faster. If I bring this over here, it might be a little bit quicker to dump in the hay and the straw bales first. Just switch you off there. Be a bit better. And then we'll come over to this one. We'll leave the bucket right here for a minute. Oops, I didn't mean to switch you off. Potatoes are wanted over there. So let's unhitch you a minute, and we're going to get the other grab, and then we'll start loading this thing back up again. I was hoping for a bit more variation today. I didn't want to have to just do 2 loads of this, but, well, this is winter. Quite frankly, this is winter. You know, you can do a bit of tree trimming and stuff like that, but if you've ever worked on a farm that's got a lot of cattle, you spend 95% of your time putting food in for the cows and putting bedding in for the cows, and occasionally taking a little bit of both back out again, because, you know, it's, well, some of the bedding and then some of the food after the cows are finished with it, and you know what I mean by finished with it. So, yeah, that is winter for a farmer. You spend most of your time doing just this. This is it. You don't do much else in the winter. You just feed and feed and feed and feed and feed and feed. And occasionally you might go and like trim some hedges and stuff like that. The one place I work, we used to spend of a 8-hour working day, we would spend roughly 6 hours per day checking on and feeding the animals every single day of the winter. And we would sort of top them up on a Friday, and a Thursday and a Friday we'd top them up a bit so they didn't need quite so much the weekend. But somebody would have to work every single day of the weekend as well. This was a big estate farm, but somebody always had to work every day. Weekends, we'd take it in turns to work the weekend, and you would still need to do about 4 hours worth of work each day on the weekend as well. In order to make sure the cattle had everything that they needed. So it was just this never-ending go with feeding cattle. This is literally all it was. It was just picking up bales, putting them in for the cattle, picking up more bales, picking up some corn, putting that in for the cattle, picking up more bales, spreading the straw out for the cattle, counting the cattle, making sure the cattle were all right. Oh, we better put some more bales in for the cattle. Don't forget to put some bales over there in for the cattle. And oh, okay, you haven't put straw in for like 20 minutes. You better put some more straw in for the... It was literally, that was all it is. And you know, you sort of think, oh yeah, the winter would be the quiet time. No, it's not. get those cows out onto the grass in the middle of summer after calving before harvest, yeah? Then all you got to do is go around, just make sure they're still alive. That's the quiet time. You get about a month then, where it's nice and quiet, where they're not really doing a great deal. But winter, that ain't a quiet time. That's just a continual boring slog. And it's dull. It is dull as ditch water. By the end of winter, you are absolutely fed up to the back teeth with feeding cattle. So the last thing you ever want to do is feed another cow. And you end up having to do that as well anyway. Yeah, that's the life of the farmer, ladies and gentlemen. It's not always as glamorous as you think it is. Just bring that one in over there. Right, we're just going to stop this a minute. I'm going to jump out. I'm going to leave that one right where he is for a second, and I'm going to skip the night. Now, I thought it was going to rain, but it doesn't look like it's going to at the moment. We'll skip until dawn. So anyway, we've got those 5 maps. You've got Stappenbach. Stay here on Stappenbach. We've got Tuscan Lands. You've got Old Slovenian Farm. You've got Dutch Polder. And you've got Kleinhau. It is your vote. It is your game. Head into the comment section down below. Let us know which one you want and why. And, of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner. It's snowing. It's actually snowing. Okay, now, we've got loan interest of 11,500. We had a vehicle running cost of like 9 grand. It's costing us about 20 grand a time. It just jumped up a second layer of snow on here, which means that these tractors are now going to start sliding around an awful lot. Oh, wow. Oh, my giddy aunt. Will you look at the amount of snow that is on this road? Oh, I love it when the cars are driving in the snow. This is just fantastic. But, oh my goodness me, there is a lot of snow on this map. It's -3 degrees at the moment, so the weather that is, the rain that is forecast later today, or probably this evening, is going to be falling as snow again. There is a lot. Look how deep it is. I am seriously impressed by how deep this snow has fallen. Right. We're not really going to have time to do it today, but in our next episode, we're going to be playing a little bit with snow. Now, the problem with these, see, is full of snow. The big problem with these robots is that they do not work well with the snow. We've got to wait now until the end of the winter to be able to use this one again properly, because he fills up with snow and then he can't really do anything else. And he's dragging the snow in from outside, so yeah, we can't really do a great deal with that one. That one's just going to have to stay, unfortunately. Right, what have I loaded into this trailer so far? We're going to take a look at that. I think I've got 2 bales of hay over there that I still need to put in, haven't I? 24,000, yeah, I got 2 bales of hay to put in, and then we've got to load up with silage. I'll put the 2 bales of hay in a minute. We'll just grab those. And then, once we've grabbed those 2, take you. Easy does it. There. We won't spoon all the silage in that needs to be spooned in at the moment. We're going to go and we're going to get our truck. And we're going to see what that one... Because it slows you down by quite a bit when you're driving around. And I've noticed different properties with it. It's not just a case of, oh, you start sliding. I've noticed some very different properties with it. When you're driving around in the deeper snow, it doesn't slide quite as much. It tends to slide more when you're driving on the snow that's already been driven on and compacted. I don't know if that's intended. Quite frankly, I don't care, because whether it's intended or otherwise, it's an absolutely awesome result. It really is. It's just fantastic. So we're going to leave that one there a minute. Switch that one off. And then we're going to go... Oh, no, I do just want to check on the cows, because we've skipped a night now. So things will have changed a little bit. Now, how are we doing? Water, we're down to 5,000 litres. Potatoes are fine. Straw seems pretty good. Wheat, berries, barley, that would be, barls, and maize. That's down to 19%. We're going to have to keep an eye on that, but we're up to 9 calves on here. We've got plenty of manure and slurry coming out. We're going to see about selling some of the manure and the slurry pretty soon as well. So that's another thing that we're going to do. We've got over here... Now, the snow is not forming on the ice, although I can hear it. But it's not forming on it. We do have the sound effect of it, but it's not actually forming on here. But no, what I want to do is I want to take this one, and I want to go back over to the farm. Well, not actually the farm. Grass is empty now. That's the end of the grass. We've got no more there. Health is on 48%. I'm not quite sure why, but we do want to sort of top those up. Milk tank's got 35,000 litres, which is, doing pretty good. I don't think we got any complaints about that. So we need to get a little bit more food in for the cows, which we'll be doing at the beginning of the next episode. We'll just top up the rest of that thing with silage, and then we can carry on. We got snow tracks sort of being left on the ground behind us, which is just fantastic. Little bits of snow here and there in places. This is awesome. This is genuinely awesome. And I like the way that we've got some snow on the road, but we don't have loads. So once we've fed the cattle at the beginning of the next episode, we're also going to be doing some snow blowing. We're going to clear some of the snow. They've done a lot of work on here to remove the snow from most of the roads, because I think you've got to go round and you've got to put like these special masks on all the way round in order to make it do this, which I think is pretty cool. We'll see if they've got this on all of them, or if there's some of the roads that don't have. Why is there a silage clamp there in the middle of nowhere? I'm not actually sure about that. Not sure what the reasoning behind that would be. No, no. I want to go this way. I want to go out round here. Back up that way, like that. And I want to go along this road over here. And I want to get that tanker, because we got milk that we want to sell. And we want to go up this way. I'm driving as fast as I can at the moment. And we're not going very quickly. We're going to go and we're going to get a vehicle that has got a little bit more speed on it. However, because the snow is so deep on the map now, we're not going to be getting very much speed with any vehicle at all. It doesn't matter what vehicle we pick, we're not going to be driving very quickly. And I actually really genuinely love that. Let's go into this field here. I know we don't own this field. I know. But look, I'm going flat out at the moment, and that's all I can do, because see how deep it is. This is just fantastic. This is brilliant. We'll have to drive round in this field quite a bit, flattening this snow down in order to be able to get a surface that we can sort of like properly start driving on and spinning around on. And it will happen. If we drive on here enough, it will happen. You have like this really slippery surface to be driving on. It's absolutely awesome. This is so cool. I'm genuinely impressed with the snow effect that we've got on this one. It did lag the game quite a bit when it was just sort of first doing it. I mean, I did still have it running at like 120 speed, so it had to catch up with that and figure out what it was doing and so on and so forth. But yeah, generally speaking, there are no complaints on here whatsoever. You're not getting many complaints from me about this. Does this one carry slurry? That's going to be the next thing. I mean, we don't want to. I'm going to back up to the slurry pit, and I'm going to see if this one does carry slurry. Well, actually, another thing I want to do is I want to see if we can sell slurry on this map, because we've got quite a lot of slurry that's now starting to get. Yes, we can. We can sell it at the 2 BGAs. Although I've seen that before. I've seen it before where it said, oh, you can sell slurry at the BGA. I don't necessarily believe it, because I've not always been able to, well, most of the time, I've not actually been able to sell slurry at the BGA, even when I've been told I can. So I'm not entirely convinced that it's accurate. I mean, it might be. It might be. Let's we'll give them the benefit of the doubt until we're proved wrong. But yeah, so we'll wait there, and then we want to head up this way. We've got to avoid all these cars. They're just as suicidal on the roads as they were before the snow fell, and now they're still trying to drive into you, but they've also got snow, which makes it more difficult for them to stop. Nobody thinks, do they? They just don't think. Now, we're going quite slow at the moment because of, well, I'm guessing it's like because there's snow, even though it's masked, it's still sort of giving us some effect of snow. This is definitely slowing us down. This is slowing us down a lot. Look at that. It is struggling to get in. It's a good job we've got the big tyres on this truck. If we didn't have the big tyres on this one, we would genuinely be struggling with this. This is... I love this. I absolutely love it. This is brilliant. Okay, yeah, we want to come over to... Well, if I go over there, there's where the slurry can be pulled out. If I go over next to it, we'll soon see if we can load it or not. Well, it doesn't have a load symbol. I know. It'd probably be easier if I just go in here and I check. We want to go to the custom road train pack. There should be a link in the description down below for that one. If there isn't, I apologize. Let me know and I will correct it. Effluent and slurry. Yes. Okay. It does do it. I just don't know where the point is. So I'm thinking we do milk first before we start trying to load up a tanker load of slurry and sell it. You know, what with having to clean things down and so on. It would probably be better if we did have a dedicated tanker for slurry as well as this dedicated one for milk. It just seems like it would be a better idea. Because I'll bring this one over here. It doesn't have a load symbol either, but if I just press R, it does start loading it up. Got the thing coming out of the milk over there. Like that. There. Out of the milk. Out of the ground. This is brilliant. This is absolutely awesome. We're loaded up with 36,300 litres of milk. So we're going to run this over to the milk sale point. It's going to be a slow drive, but we're going to get it over there. And then at the beginning of the next episode, we will spoon some silage into that one and dump that in for the cows. We'll probably have to put a bit more straw in for them as well. Then we will come back, and I think we will get a different tanker for handling slurry, because putting slurry and milk in the same tanker, even if you clean it, it just doesn't seem particularly hygienic to me. I'm not happy at doing that. That seems to me that's going a step too far. So we'll get a new tanker, and we'll use that one for carrying a bit of slurry. We'll take it to one of the BGAs, and we will sell the slurry, and we'll see if it's going to be worth it. We'll see how many loads we're going to have to sell in order to make back the money for the tanker. Now, if we come down this way, and we turn right down here, it should be a straight run into the milk sell point. At least that's my plan. And I'll come round here. I need to swing in like that. There we go. Right in round. Just, it's the snow is slowing us down. Snow is slowing everything down. This is so cool. I love how it's the depth of the snow that has really surprised me on this map. Genuinely surprised me is just how deep this snow is. So we're going to have to do something with moving snow a bit later on to just sort of get an idea of the sheer quantity of the stuff that we've now got on our map. But we're running to the end of this episode, so the weekly question. We are going to be moving, well, possibly moving. Where do you want us to go for our next 4-week stint? We are on the second week of our 4-week stint here at the moment. Do you want to stay here on Stappenbach for another 4 weeks? Or would you rather move on? Do you feel that the farmer is now able to take care of things on his own here on in Stappenbach, and we should be moving on somewhere else? That one there, we can start unloading. So we can stay here on Stappenbach. We can go move on to Tuscan Lands, the Italian one. We can go to Old Slovenian Farm as a small one made by Black Sheep Modding and another crew as well. It does look absolutely beautiful. Dutch Polder is a bit of a classic map now, and it's set in Holland. It's flat and it's very realistic for farming in Holland. Big long stripped fields, and it looks very cool. Or we've got Kleinhau, which is another one not far up the road, really, from where we are now. It's based in Germany, and it's based on a real-life area in Germany. It's all built off of a map of the place. I'm assuming it's from where the author is from, or someone that he knows is where he's from. Now, we don't get this one out round this corner very well, so in order to be a bit more realistic, instead of trying to jam it round that corner every time, if we back it out this way, it'll then be ready for the next time that we want to use it. We'll put it right up into that corner for now, I think. Yeah, well, we'll try and put it up here somewhere. So, yeah, those are your 5 maps. It's your vote. It's your game. Head into the comment section down below. Let us know which one you want and why. And, of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner. And it doesn't look like we can put it up the side of the building. So, instead, what I will do is I will anchor it round a little bit tighter. like that, and we'll park it in there on the unload point for the sugar beet, like this. There, and I gotta be careful of those things that are hanging down, because they will jam us up. We can't actually touch them at all, because they've got full collision on them. Right, we'll drop that one there. There we go. And then we can head off this way, because we're going to be using this one to get some slurry in our next episode. But yeah, so if you enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.